BassResinator here. I've already started. What's that all about? Well, just a couple days ago, I did a video where I did the exact same colors. It came out like this. I'm going to do one difference on this one than well, two differences. No, three differences. I left this clear the last time, and I used clear resin with Aurora powder in it. So it gives it this little under the sea type of vibes. I wanted it to be clear. Well, this time I'm going to go with black, not clear. I am going to use Aurora, but I'm going to dust it in this area. This is the water area. But I don't want just that, because this, when it's backed by black, turns this really beautiful dark blue. So I don't want just dark blue. So I'm going to use some of the green that I've already used around here, and this light blue that I used here for a shell. So I need to do this light blue up on the top side, and I'm going to mix them so that it's sort of like the current of water. Okay, just to let you know what I did use. Rose red. Oh, these are the Let's Resin chrome powders. And also using Into Resin's Aurora powder. Okay, so the rose red, I did the starfish. Holographic silver, I did his flippers. Holographic pink, I did around the fleshy areas of the turtle. Oh, and you can't see it really well. Well, let me show you here. You see how there's little dents here, like to represent the scales? What I did was I dusted those with the holographic pink and then cleaned all around it. So then the purple, or I called it plum the last time, that's on his head will have those, but they're going to be a little bit of pink poking through. I used green for the plants, and then this light blue for his shell, gold to represent the sand and the seafloor. So that's what I'm going to do. Now what I'm going to do for you is show you a little bit of magic, hopefully. Get some of this green. I don't know if you noticed what I did. I went da 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 da, which is the exact rhythm of ESPN's nightly show, Sports Center. Now here's that light blue. Now these should spread well, so I don't think I'm going to need any more than that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of this Aurora powder down there too, on the bottom part of this. I really love this Aurora powder. Man, it's a little goes a long, long way. And it has totally different characteristics when it's poured into resin and mixed in, or when it's dusted on, or if it's dusted on the back of semi-cured resin, so it's still a little bit tacky. It takes a different characteristic even then. So it's really cool. Okay, now I'm not going to dust off my brush like I did the other times. I'm just going to leave it, and I'm just going to and this is the underwater vibe. And hopefully it'll give a little bit of like the current. Okay, let me get like putting the brush back in its little sleeve to keep those bristles from breaking. And then get all the colors in the box in no particular order. I'm just putting them in. When I use them again, I'll just dig them all out, get the ones I want. That's the way I roll. And one of my nicknames in high school was Rock, so that's the way I rock and roll. Okay. Now, I already have my resin mixed up. It is the Let's Resin Black. It's already, part A already has the right amount of paste mixed in it so that when you go to mix the resin, it comes out the perfect black. So I had it mixed up. It's been sitting there that whole time I was dusting. Okay, here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Now I mixed up 8 ounces. And we're going to see with this experiment what the difference is between clear resin with Aurora powder and the same color same colors used, and just the only difference is backed with black resin. Now this table is level, but I have found that this side over here, for some reason, is just a smidgen lower. But according to the level, it is level. So you take it for whatever that means. It needs 2 little pieces of cardstock and it'll balance it out. Crazy, huh? Just a touch left. Do I have enough? I made a frog mold. It doesn't hold much at all. It's very thin. It was a magnet that went on a car. And I had a couple magnets. They were the shape of this tree frog. And I do have enough for it. Maybe even have enough for the other one. But I need to coax it into the toes. I made this mold specifically for Froggy Friday. It's just a little bit more. Whee! Okay, I think that's all I'm going to be able to get in there. I have just a tiny bit left in this cup. Can't get any more in this. Okay. I will see you when this is time to unmold. Okay, bye. Well, it's the next morning. This is cured up. The frog's cured. Now these guys I had poured and I used some metallic powder, and some of that powder stayed in the mold. So that one had gold, and this one has a little bit of silver on him. They're fine. Came out cool looking. Okay, now let's see what has happened. Okay, get these frogs out the way. Come on, get on over there. Here is the first one I did. And there's the second one. Wow. Not much different in the opaque areas. But the shell, if you go outside, I can see my fingers through that. Can't through here. So a little more definition with the dark background. Look, when I did that Aurora powder, look how dark it came out. And the light blue up there and that green in there, that really looks like water. Yeah. Now, I need to finish off his eye. with a little bit of I had black UV resin in there in the mold, but if I put a little bit more on the outside, it will really take it over the top. I don't want to pour out a whole bunch. I want just a little bit to come out. There we go. Like a bubble on it. Yeah, there was. Okay, and when I did this the last time, I said, I do this, and then until that black starts going looking like a kind of pale greenish color, then I know it's cured. There. You see it change? Okay, now I want to give it a little bit more, because right now it's just flat. I want to get it a little dome, so it'll look like his eyes, not bulging out, but his eyes. And I probably ought to put that in a little dish and then try and do it. Oh, I've already started. Need a little bit more. That's what I was wanting, right there. Yeah, there we go. Now, as far as the coloring that I used with the powders on there, they look exactly the same where they are opaque, but where it is until well, there we go. It went green or pale green. Yeah, that. Now this one, I did that purple all the way back. On this one here, on this little texture here I did that, continued that pink, so it doesn't look quite as bright as this one. But other than that, everything is the same, except for that water area. But if you hold them up, I'll do that. When I get them into a different area and I get the camera down at a different angle, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. How this one, I can see my hand. Well, maybe you can too. I can see my hand through it, even through the shell. Nothing here. So both very, very pretty. Yeah, coolness. But if somebody were to say, well, they look the same, they do, because I use the exact same color scheme except for this area here. Yeah. Actually, by going the dark with the black background, sorry about that. Bumped up against the microphone. These with that little bit of reddish in the thing showed up different than this. The red, you can see it there, but you can still see that green really dark. That's interesting. But I did it exactly the same way. Cool. Okay. Subscribers, thank you very much. I appreciate you hanging with me and going through all of these crazy things. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much. If you are not a subscriber, you ought to consider it. And it's really easy. All you do is go down here, push the subscribe button, and you're subscribed. If you want to be notified, there's a little bell icon right next to the subscribe button. There's a little bell icon on another little button right next to it. Click that, and anytime I do something new, you'll be notified. And we do have channel memberships. I'm up to 2. I will post their names in this video to let you know that I do have some supporters. That is such an awesome thing. If you would like to be a channel member, it's very simple. Just click the little button that says join, and then you'll be given one of 2 choices, either the blue bonnet level or the Indian paintbrush. And at this point, you get early access to all videos. Coming soon, there are going to be different new things. I need to sit down with my channel members that I have right now and start discussing options of what to do for both levels so that you'll see the incentives. Okay. Stick around. I'll have some stills, especially showing them like this with light behind them so you can see the real difference. You know, the mold, I thought I had done something wrong, but this mold actually has texture here. I guess that's to resemble the water waves. I don't know if you can see them. Kind of cool. I thought, oh man, what did I do to get that? But it's on both of them. It's in the mold. Look, the texture is there. His poor head, I dusted it with that purple. And I have found out that with reds and pinks, if you put them on the mold, the mold is fine. It's just going to have a color to it. Okay, stick around for the stills. Thank you for being here today. Bye.